pronation, which is that arch coming down, and that's the issue with these aren't really running shoes, and with that rocker bottom heel that'll happen. So as you can see, as you pronate down, the knees come in together and rotate in and hit each other. So that's a large problem that we're seeing, and that continues with your other shoes, especially the Nike Freeze. And then also we're talking about the hip drop. So as you stand on your right hip, your left hip drops down, and that can lead to that knee contact as well. And then we're switching over into the side view, and again we're just looking at stride length and knee band, so there's not as much to look here. I thought those looked okay. On the left, we have your stability shoe, and on the right we have your Nike Free shoes, which are going to give you more movement there. From the side view, the kind of things we're looking at are stride length, making sure that when you're looking at your foot and ankle position, so that when your foot contacts the ground, where is it in relation to your knee? We don't want it too far out in front of your knee. Both of these were pretty good. By the time your foot is actually making contact with the ground, it's right below your knee, which is where we want it. And then just looking to see, make sure that you're bending your knee as you're swinging your leg through. So everything looked okay here. Looking at the posterior view or the back view of the stability on the left, free on the right. First thing we're looking at the hip drop, to make sure that when you stand on your right hip, your left hip isn't dropping down too far, and we do see that. Your right hip drops a little bit more, and that kind of leads to that knee coming in, and you can see as you're making contact with the ground, you are kind of running down a straight line. So we want to get those feet apart and trying to keep the knees apart, so that that left knee, especially as you pronate down, when the arch comes down, your left knee caves in a little bit. And you can see your knees are making contact all of the time. There's not a lot of space between them. And then as you go to push off, we want to push off with all of your toes and not just the inside ones, and that can kind of lead to that foot whipping out there, as you can see as you're going to push off. So again, the hips, keeping them more level, keeping the knees apart, and then pushing off with all your toes. In your stability shoes, while we're trying to switch to a 4-foot run. So we're trying to get your feet spread apart, and you can see that it did help keep the knees apart at times. At times they kind of went back to their normal ways, and you were kind of all over the place as far as keeping your feet apart, but a good start. This is a video we switched over, so you're trying to run with quiet feet, so just getting you to run with a little less force onto your forefoot as you're going through. Again, so this is stuff you're all going to have to work on, trying to get those feet apart, which in turn keeps the knees apart, and straighten your feet out. Or get your knees straightened out. Control those hips so they're not dropping down so far. A more appropriate run. Not running in midline. Push off is straight off of all the digits of the feet, and the foot is going straight as you're swinging it through and not pointing outward. Knees are separated. Hips are not dropping down too much. And the knees are not turning in.